Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss, Andrew, Carl back in the building for episode 180.
Yeah.
What's happening? I like the energy we got today.
We back.
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on?
Back to home base and shit.
Yeah,
Home base.
Home base.
I'm on my turf.
Yeah, for sure.
What's good with y'all?
Hey, shit,
Nothing,
man. Same old, work. Catching up on all these new shows and shit.
Oh, yeah?
All my new shit's coming back, man.
What you watching?
A lot of fire. Just started back up on that Mayor of Kingstown. That shit on Paramount. That shit is fire. I gotta check that shit out. Second
That's
season.
with
That dude.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner. Bam.
He's a beast.
Got him.
He's a beast.
I like
He's a good actor.
He's a beast in that shit. That
He's
shit's
got
fire.
one of the dopest lines in any movie ever from The Town. You know the one I'm talking about?
I know the town, but I don't know the line.
What line are you talking?
Dude, Ben Affleck comes in and he's like, we need to go. I need you. We're going to hurt some people. You can't ask any questions or something like that. And he's like, whose car are we taking?
Yeah. All right, yeah.
That shit was so fire.
That's like towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, when they're going to get some revenge.
I like that movie a lot. I think that's kind of like an underrated movie a bit.
I'm a sucker for any bank heist.
Yeah.
Or not bank, just any heist movie.
Yeah.
I think every time I see that dude, I think of a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
It's a classic
That's a good
too.
movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Good stuff. What else you watching?
Did y'all ever watch Your Honor?
Nah, but that's Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's my man's. Yeah.
It's Breaking Bad.
Dude from Breaking Bad.
What's his name?
I
Fucking
can't remember his name. Walt.
No, it's
Walter
fucking
White.
name.
Well, yeah,
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah,
Bam,
yeah.
got him.
Yeah,
Test
I like
me
that.
some more.
Yeah, you on top of your shit today.
I'm out here.
But that shit is fire too. Season
heard
2
that.
just started back up.
What's that on? That's like a regular
I
cable
think it's
show.
on
ain't it?
Showtime.
Oh, maybe not.
I want to say it's on Showtime.
Okay.
I be you.
What are you streaming it off of? Oh, my bad.
I mean, I have my ways of finding it. I found some app that got it. Already locked in. So yeah. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Maybe I'll look that up.
We got some grievances I want to get off though.
Oh yeah.
With a particular
With us?
show. No, a particular show.
I thought it was
Since we
about
on
to have
shows,
beef.
it's kind of been on my
I know
mind.
which one it is.
Why you know which one it is?
I don't know.
What?
P-Valley.
What's your guess?
I got one that's
P-Valley.
I can't wait for that season to drop.
Oh,
Man,
it's
it
not
ain't the
that-
issue.
Damn.
I got a grievance for the show as well too. So
All right, well, let's get my shit off. You go first.
If y'all know, I don't know if y'all know this, but I think most people know I'm an avid watcher of Law and Order SVU. In my opinion, I feel like it's one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
And it's arguably is the greatest show of all time.
Like 25
they're in their
seasons
24th
deep.
season right now.
24.
I can't
Not
argue
going
with it.
anywhere.
I would probably say Price is Right, but it's on
Yeah,
good.
this guy.
I'm sure.
I was down till Bob Barker died.
Just saying.
If you're into the game shows, I'm sure that's one of the top tier ones as well. But
I think you can make a strong case for SVU being the greatest show of all time on regular cable.
it's hard to deny.
Because of how long it's gone and it stayed quality. I haven't watched the last few seasons, but
But you can start watching the episode you ain't seen before, and you'll be locked in the first 5 minutes.
So I get them all confused. There's just so many different versions of Law and Order. Is that the original one, or what's the original?
It's not the
original one is just Law and Order.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another point. All the Law and Order shows are fire. The original
To a
Law and
certain
Order,
extent.
I loved. That one gets a little bit more.
SVU is the top tier, the echelon of all of them. I would say.
I would say it's probably
People
the
know
best.
the most.
Law and Order is a little bit more courtroom focused.
Right. Okay. Law and Order.
SVU obviously is sexual crimes.
That's the one with Ice Cube, right?
Yeah.
But they have a lot of stars that come in and cameos that do on shows and shit. So it's like
Tons.
one of those shows where you get a lot of people to come on.
The only reason I don't fuck with them is just because, like, it's the same episode to me. Every episode.
I mean, yeah, it's like the same, setup.
Yeah.
But I get you locked in though. Like, you know what's about to happen. This about to happen. Oh, they got him. This about to. You can be locked in until you figure out who it was, That's the whole objective. Who did it?
It's kind of shocking.
Who did it show?
It's kind of shocking how good they are at misdirecting.
Yeah.
Because as many as you watch, it's usually not easy to tell instantly who was.
That's what I try to do. I try to spin and make you think it's one person and it ain't, same move.
Maybe I need to get
anyway, to my grievances with the show, because I hold it so dearly and so high on a level of TV shows. Recently, I don't know if y'all know Olivia Benson, the main character of one of the Johns.
Yep.
And her partner for most of it was Elliot Stabler.
Yes, sir.
Elliot is back, but he got his own show that comes on right after SVU called Law and Order Organized Crime.
Spinoff. He does
that shit,
gangs and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He take down crime organizations and shit, undercover and shit or whatever. That shit fire. He came back and he been killing it. But SVU has started to now become like a fucking mockery. Like, it's now, at first, they used to keep it how it was. They had their little cameos come in, but they would keep the storylines pretty good where it kind of makes sense. Now it's like they trying to do, how can we top the last crazy rape case that we did now?
No.
It's becoming one of them. She's like, yo, this recent joint, the season just started back up or whatever. It's this dude that runs like gangs and shit in Brooklyn or Bronx or some shit like that. So she and her crew came over there to help them out. They get over there, and my man's showed them a rape graveyard where it's just woman shit all over the woods of showing the people that they raped as a gang type of. I'm like, yo, so is this like the Thanos level of rapes? We won't give you 100 cases to solve in the episode now. I was like, this shit is getting outrageous, yo. It's just getting over the top. And they gotta chill that shit out.
That sucks. That sucks.
I mean, gang that rapes.
It was like, really? For real? Like, all right. It's getting out of control. I don't like where it's headed. They need to chill out.
What do you think about them integrating shows? Where they're having the gang show and the SVU come together?
Because you got to do that. You got Elliot and Olivia. They've been the characters that have been prominent for the whole show pretty much.
Yeah.
You got to have that intertwine, and that's helped. But Elliot's show been killing it. That shit been fire.
That's what I've heard. I don't know how I feel about the integrating multiple shows, because I think that started with all those Chicago shows.
Yeah.
Chicago PD, Chicago FD. I think they got
crossovers.
The hospital or something too. Oh, that seems kind of corny to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Motherfucking Dick Wolf.
Gotta be the richest
fucking
man
mastermind, bro.
Gotta be the richest man in TV.
You're Tyler Perry of sex crimes. Sex crime
Tyler
shows.
Perry, though.
That shit crazy.
Well, that sucks. That's I think you said you had 2 grievances, no?
That was the main one.
That was it?
It was just, they got to get that shit together. They getting a little too loose for me.
Come on, Dick.
Might be coming to an end, man. All good things.
Probably should. That everybody gone. The only 2 people from the original cast is left is Olivia and fucking Ice-T, Detective Tutuola.
Just holding on to that.
They're the only ones left.
I think
Hold the shit.
Holding on to that check, man. It's like, why would I let this go?
I've heard him say that before. He's like, why would I ever stop doing SVU? I make so much money off of this, and the residuals for it's constantly on TV, old episodes.
24 seasons Ice-T has been on that show.
That's crazy.
He ain't got to do nothing else for the rest of his life.
And he's not even the main character.
He can stop right now and be good for generations of the money he's going to make off that show.
What was your TV grievance?
BMF, man. I've been watching that.
Okay. BMF.
And
what's been going on? You ain't like how Meech been getting fucked up. No,
man. It has nothing to do with the plot. The plot, I think, is a decent plot. It's just some of the acting in there is just so unbearably bad. I can't take it. Like, when the acting's that bad, I just want to turn the shit off. I feel embarrassed for everybody that.
To my mom and pops, they be killing me.
That and fucking Cash Doll in there, she can't fucking act a bit.
I don't mind Cash Doll that much. She ain't that bad. She don't got that many lines.
Beach, man, it's this one scene where he's like combing through a house, like looking for somebody with a gun, and it's just so clearly obvious he's never held a pistol in his life, in real life, to actually do anything like this before. He looks so fucking awkward and weird doing it. I'm like, yo, this guy wouldn't shoot anything. I'm not convinced. So, I mean, it's just the poor acting that's in there that's really turning me off the last couple episodes I've watched.
You had the same critique of Power, wasn't it?
What happened? Power? Yeah, same thing. Specifically
you're a harsh critic.
The ghost power one.
Got you.
I didn't really watch Force like that. I just think that was whack.
Didn't one of them get pulled?
One of them get what?
Didn't one of them get stopped? Like one of the spinoffs did like a season or two and they put it into it? Or am I wrong on that?
I don't think none has ended yet. I don't know how long Tommy gonna run because that first season of Tommy was crazy.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to bring that back, but all of them going. All of them still going. But that BMF shit, like, I feel like they've been dragging this shit out this season. It's been dragging. I'm waiting for them to get to Atlanta. I feel like they're about to go to Atlanta now and show what they did and how they brought BMF down in the South. Because they just dragging shit out. Like, they need to keep shit moving. The storyline ain't really going nowhere. It's like stalling a little bit for the first couple episodes. Maybe they're about to turn it up. I think the last episode, it showed them leaving to go to Atlanta. We hit the road and shit. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
So maybe they'll turn it up.
And that's too.
This is Meech's first time acting, so I mean, this is his first ever acting role, so he's not gonna be that good.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, yeah, I can do this shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
Any other grievances to air right now?
No, that's it. That's all
I don't
got.
have one. I wish I did. If y'all had told me I'd have made something up about a show, it just pissed me off, man.
Y'all
But I don't
seen
have
any good movies lately?
I think I was talking to Moss about it. Did you watch that You People yet on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
I'm going to watch it though. I want to watch it.
I've seen a lot of people talk about it though.
I was obviously going to watch it regardless because our boy Schultz is in there. So I was going to have to check it out. And I like Jonah Hill a lot. So I was going to watch it regardless. That movie was hilarious. It was really, really good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
They got so many people in there and they're all like secondary actors that you know from other stuff. But it was hilarious. It kind of reminds me of Meet the Parents, but like a newer version. And you know, Laura London's family is Muslim, and Jonah Hill's is Jewish, so they like certainly played into that. But the movie was hilarious. Schultz got a pretty small part, but the couple of lines he gets off were hilarious. Really, really good movie. Definitely advise people to check that out.
Hell yeah.
Outside of that, I haven't watched anything really. Haven't really watched anything, you?
Oh no, I don't know. Did I tell y'all I saw the new Avatar movie? Y'all seen that shit yet?
Nah. It looked really good.
Did, but yeah, no, I ain't seen it.
Oh man, you gotta see that ASAP.
What did you think of the first one?
Well, I mean, I like the first one. I'm a big fan of it.
I thought the first one was super average. I didn't hate it or nothing, but it was built up to be such a crazy movie and stuff. Like, I don't know, it seemed like it was a super groundbreaking thing. I remember going and seeing it in 3D at the theaters. And I finished and I was like, I mean, it was cool special effects and stuff, but it was a long-ass movie and a pretty basic story. It was Pocahontas is what it was.
Okay.
But the second one, the trailer for
this
this.
is Pocahontas?
It is. It's Pocahontas' story.
No, it's not. No,
It's Pocahontas' story.
It's not Pocahontas.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
I mean, it's clearly
Dude shows up to take over their land, falls in love with the girl that's defending her tribe, if you will. This is Pocahontas. They fall in love and then try to get both sides.
Like
to
John
not fight.
Smith, don't like that Pocahontas shit. He don't like that. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never watched it.
It's the same thing.
No, I think it is.
James Cameron ripped off Pocahontas.
So you hated when they said that Black Panther was Lion King then. You must have hated that. It's a Lion King plot.
I can tell you, actually, Lion King is actually the story of an African prince named Sundiata. So that's a true story, actually. But I don't think it's. I mean, might have some references from like Black Panther and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't
think Black Panther has the same plot as Lion King.
Yeah, I mean, sure, maybe.
That's what they said.
But y'all should look up the.
How is it not Pocahontas?
I don't see it that way. I think it's actually just a depiction of what happened to the Aboriginal people of America,
Which would be the Pocahontas story.
Message. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's literally what it is.
So
right?
clearly Pocahontas.
That's what Pocahontas
I would
is.
call it Pocahontas.
Look, I fuck with Pocahontas. I got no problems with that.
That makes it seem like we're talking about like the traditional Indians that we speak of. Like, but that's I don't think that's what Avatar is about.
I mean, Avatar is blue people. It's not even real people.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It's clearly is the same exact story of Pocahontas. They built this as like the craziest movie ever because I think it was the largest budget a movie ever had. The first
something
one.
like that.
And then you go and watch it, and it's cool. Blue people instead of Indians. It's Pocahontas. 3 hours long, Pocahontas.
Stretch it out.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, but the new one looked fire.
No, it's like that. It's like that. It's good.
I don't know how much I can trust you though, because you won't even admit the first one is Pocahontas.
No, it's a good movie. I just don't. I wouldn't say it's Pocahontas. Like, I guess
So is
if
this
you
one like
want
Mulan?
some similarities
Take it
to
to another level.
the storylines, yeah. But I just think the people in which they're talking about will probably be different. And I know people be like, "Oh, that's a fictional story. It doesn't matter." You don't understand.
All right, man. Whatever you say. I want to see the new one. I wouldn't pay for it for sure, but eventually I'm watching.
I think it's supposed to drop on HBO Max soon. So
I'll probably check it out then.
yeah, probably in a couple months it'll drop out.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I get that.
For real, it's like how the takes that you having about this shit like that is fucked up. Them shits for me, because they ain't made that shit too deep for me. Why can't it just be a nice movie to watch with your kids? Now it's all hey, no, they stealing from this and they showing the Aborigine people and like it's blue. They blue. They make them fucking blue.
It's Blueface.
No,
It's just like I feel like people just be taking shit too deep, bro. It's just supposed to be a kid movie, like.
it's not a
kids
kid.
enjoy
No, it's
it.
not. It's not a children's movie.
You one of those too. Like they make these movies for adults.
Yeah.
So break down and make
Just because
conspiracies
it's animated doesn't make it a children's movie.
Okay.
Debatable, but I get what you're saying.
Jurassic Park has animation. That's not necessarily
Is CGI and animation the same thing?
It's
yeah,
not.
I mean, I would.
It's not. It's not cartoons. Whenever something's cartoons for kids.
I think CGI and animation in today's world would be very similar. And if we're talking about, in the 1990s, yeah, probably very different. But
They turn a new Lion King into animation. Does that now make it an adult film?
but
it's still for
CGI
kids.
though. I'm saying it's animation.
Still
It's all the
for
same
kids.
thing.
I don't know if we talked about this, but that new Lion King was whack, by the way.
It was. I watched it.
Aladdin was okay when they did the
Will Smith.
real interactive whatever. But yeah, Lion King was kind of whack. Didn't enjoy that.
It
Had
killed
so many good names in it.
They killed the personality of the characters by making them real animals.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's just real fucking lion right here talking with a
I
voice.
thought it was okay. That was cool.
It was okay. I didn't like watching them be like, yo, I can't believe I just wasted those 2 hours. But I watched it. I was excited to watch. I finished it and I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
I feel like they killed
cool.
it.
Yeah, go
like
ahead and
that.
stop pump fake and make that Sandiata movie.
Who? Who's that?
The guy who the Lion King is based off of.
Sandiata.
I think so. I think that's the name. I might be fucking it up, but he was like a some kind of West African prince that was pretty much the same story. He got driven off by like his uncle and shit, and came back, fought and won over his kingdom again and ruled part of Africa for a long time. Blah, blah, blah.
I'd watch that.
I don't know. I think
that
Lion
sounds
King
like a decent
kind of
story.
already bodied it though.
It's tough because they already laid the groundwork.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, Lion
already.
King, like the story of that is stolen, and then it's another story that they stole like all the animation and shit from and everything. Like the whole Lion King thing is like completely stolen and jacked from the animation to the story.
Kind of like
itself.
James Cameron stole Pocahontas.
What do you mean?
Hey,
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
Stole is just a crazy word. it is what it is.
Yeah.
Any other movies you want to tell us about?
No.
Have you seen any
That's
good
it.
movies
I'll
recently?
watch.
nah, I ain't really been watching a lot of movies. I've just been fucking trying to get through these shows. The time I do have.
Oh, John Wick's overrated. I have some time to.
I've
finally
never
watch some
thought
John
those were
Wick.
good movies.
Another one dropped.
Another one's
there's
coming
4.
out. They're working on the 4th one now.
Okay.
I think I watched one John Wick movie, and I've seen like bits and pieces of the other ones. It's like the same movie over and over again.
And
Like,
the plot is
thrill of it?
awful though. It's
What's
a
the thrill
terrible
of it? He
plot.
just goes around just killing like 1,000 people and still never gets killed.
So there's a lot of people that like that type of action. I never have.
Is that like the
I really-
Tarantino shit?
Nah, so
that
that's what I was
Tarantino?
just gonna mention though, is the weird thing. So I don't like just action and violence for no reason. I got no problems with violence. I don't care about watching the movies. A lot of the movies I like are super violent.
Right.
But just shooting and killing, and like it reminded me like a Steven Seagal movie.
I was just thinking, I was like, oh, you're trying to Steven Seagal his way through shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like, oh, okay, so he killed 350 people in this movie and nobody even injured him. It's just like, this is stupid. I can't do unrealistic.
He gets pretty fucked up in there, but at the same time, I can't buy into that shit because it's like, this motherfucker is obviously too old. And so, even the fight scenes though, like, yeah, this is not convincing. So I don't get it. The action's not good enough in there, and the plot is fucking awful. I don't get how this ended up getting, 4 movies out of this. It's just crazy to me. Like, who's paying to see this shit?
Yeah, I've asked the same thing. I've never been impressed. I only saw the first one, and I wouldn't watch beyond that. I just don't have any interest.
Yeah, it's no good.
But I did lie. I might have mentioned this before because it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago that I watched it. I know I told y'all. But Bullet Train on Netflix was fire. And that one, if you are a Tarantino fan, that movie is very Tarantino-esque. Had a lot of stuff that reminded me of like Kill Bill, in that it's like over the top, almost silly the way some people die. Like it's kind of nuts, but it was a really good movie. Brad Pitt was the main character in that. But yeah, those are the 2 movies I've watched the last couple of weeks.
Nice. Like that.
Anything else went on this week or anything before we get into football stuff?
No.
Not really.
I don't know if this is as crazy as it seemed in the moment, but I was working the other day and could hear the police knocking on the neighbor's door, like across the parking lot. So I looked out the window to see what was going on, and they're knocking for like a really long time. And then they left and came back with like the landlord or whatever. And they're trying to get inside the house. And the landlord, I don't know what the landlord was doing why they couldn't get in for so long, but it took them forever as well. And then it was like 4 cop cars out here. Yeah. So I just kept keeping an eye on it throughout the rest of the day. And it must have just been a wellness check. Somebody over there died. Like they were rolling the body out and stuff. I was like, damn, it just seems nuts.
Damn.
It just had me thinking about, like, I guess if you live by yourself.
Your ears was ringing earlier.
I hope you didn't know that.
Tap into that frequency. I never know.
Told you.
But if you live by yourself, like, depending on how close you are with other people, like for me, I talk to mad people every single day. A couple of friends, y'all, my mom, like I'm regularly chatting with people. So if I wasn't responding, I think somebody would know pretty quick. But I mean, I don't know if that person was over there for like 2 days or 2 weeks before somebody realized. It was kind of crazy to think about.
Right. Yeah, true.
Yeah, man. It's just scary out here. You never know.
Yep. But I didn't mean to bring the mood down. We talk about somebody else's death. The death of the 49ers happened yesterday.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Not a very smooth transition, but hey, we're here now.
Shit was rugged, but we got there.
That game was so disappointing. I was so excited for that for the whole week.
Yeah.
And then for Purdy to get hurt so early in the game. Yeah. It was a real bummer.
When that happened, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. There's no way to recover.
Right. We all picked the Eagles anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was already going to take a really outstanding effort from the 49ers to win regardless. But once you got, what was his name? Just Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson.
Yeah. You got Josh Johnson out there
in the first
for
like 13 years or something like that.
15 seasons or something.
They've been on like 13 teams or something like that.
Yeah, it's like career backup guy.
Shit.
Good for him. Yeah, make that money.
Hey, collecting checks ain't mad.
Life's been good for him.
But we got robbed. We got robbed of a great game, I feel like.
A little bit.
At the beginning of the game, I don't know how they didn't challenge that 4th down completion to Devontae Smith. Right at the beginning of the game, right before the Eagles scored for the first time. Play. That catch was incredible, besides the fact he didn't actually catch it. But I don't know how you don't challenge that. It's such a massive play.
That was the one-handed joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
First series.
I know it's early in the game, so maybe you're kind of hesitant to use the challenge in that moment. But like with it being a 4th down, I mean, that's a turnover. If you get the call, I think you've got to throw something out there. And once they scored, it was,
Well, he said that they didn't get that angle. Like, I guess they couldn't see that angle.
Okay.
They ended up showing that angle later on after they had already snapped the ball and everything. So I think that was the big issue for him there. But I mean, it's tough. some of those you might just want to take a timeout or something. If you take a timeout and then use the challenge or something like that, it's it's a huge play. I know it's like the first series of a game, but still, it's a fucking fourth down they're going for. Like, you can really, swing the momentum if you get a stop right there. So I don't know. I probably would have, called a timeout or something.
And using the timeout just isn't nearly as big a deal in the first half.
Right.
If it happens and you end up, you wasted the timeout, lose the challenge, whatever, it is what it is. It's not that big a deal to be down a timeout going into first quarter, second quarter.
Yeah.
But beyond that, though, I think Purdy got hurt in the second quarter, or was it the first? Do y'all remember?
I can't remember when exactly, but it was
I
like
won't
shit.
say it was first quarter. He only threw 4 passes.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It had to be relatively early.
Yeah.
But I want to say into the second quarter, it was still 7-0. And I just can't help but think, I still think they would have lost that game. But if they had an actual quarterback, I think it would have come down to the last couple minutes of the game.
Makes a difference. Makes a difference.
That McCaffrey run was disgusting for the touchdown.
It was nasty.
He broke like 5 tackles.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know they were really out of options once Purdy went down. And then, of course, after, Josh Johnson goes down as well, too. I'm not putting a quarterback back on the field if I know that all we can do is run the ball anyway. We can't throw the ball, so I'm just going to it's going to be a direct snap to McCaffrey the rest of I know that's like, their chances of winning the game are not really going to go up drastically or nothing like that because of that. But, I mean, shit, that's your best chance if you ask me. Get the ball. You going to run it anyway. Everybody, they know, everybody in the stadium know that all you going to do is run the ball. Let's at least get an extra blocker out of the situation. And we're going to snap the ball to McCaffrey every fucking time, run left, run right, and see if we can pick up some first downs that way. That's just what I would have done with it. But I get that you don't really plan for those situations, of course.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people saying that. I don't disagree. It didn't matter. I mean,
right. Ultimately,
honestly, once Purdy went down, it didn't matter. But Josh Johnson. So I believe it was 14-7 with under 2 minutes left in the half. And then when Josh Johnson fumbled that snap on the shotgun where he just didn't catch the ball.
Yeah.
And they recovered the fumble and quickly scored to make it 21-7. At that point, it was done. But I don't know, man. I was really excited for this game.
Same. I mean, 2 defenses, best defenses in the league. But like I said, Eagles have won in mad different ways, and you can't do shit about their winning game. They were just getting down the field at will. Were they like 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns or something like that?
They had a really smart strategy to the running game. Yeah. Apparently, they identified that whenever they run like trips to one side, like the bunch trip set to a side, then San Francisco would move their nickel corner and like their strong safety to that same side. Mm-hmm. So they just would run the ball back to the weak side.
On demand.
Every time.
Yep.
And especially if you end up putting that like bunch trips to Bosa's side, you just run away from Bosa and the strong safety and the nickel back. So they didn't have any run defenders. It was just a mathematics game, really,
Yeah.
And especially, I think it was a couple plays, they ended up pulling the center and gaining the extra block.
You got to respond to it. You got AJ Brown, Devontae over there. You got all these guys standing up.
They made adjustments later in the game, but the Eagles really caught them off guard with that, I think, a few times early on, especially.
Smart move. Take all your best defensive players to go over our best offensive guys.
Right. And then we're just going to run away from you the whole time. So that's just smart coaching. Good game plan right there. It's just, I didn't see San Francisco winning this game. I think, the Eagles just, again, they had the best team all year long. They can rush the passer before. Hassan Reddick had a fucking crazy, first 2-3 series where he was just lighting Purdy up. I think that one play, I really think he got a strip sack, man, but they didn't give it to him. I thought that was a strip.
They both kind of go down to the ground at the same time, so I could see them sticking with letting the offensive guy have the ball.
Yeah, but I thought
he had more possession of it.
I thought it was moving before he hit the ground enough to where it's like, nobody had possession at that point, and he just took it from him. So I thought, he had a crazy good game, and he has like a really unique comeback story too. Yeah, just overall, I mean, great
What's his
game by
comeback
him.
story?
He
Played with us last year. He was a monster with the Panthers.
He was a first round pick. I think he was drafted before TJ Watt, like in 2017 or whenever he was drafted. But early on, I think he was drafted by the Cardinals. But
That sounds right.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's out of Temple or something like that. But he just had one of those, like, he didn't live up to the hype. He might have been a top 15, top 10 pick or something like that. But he didn't live up to the hype and early on in his career. But he's had a couple runs, like you said, with the Panthers. He had a really good year.
So his first 3 years with the Cardinals, he had a total of 7.5 sacks.
Right,
And
right.
played every game. In his last year with the Cardinals, 2020, he had 12.5 sacks. And then he signed with us last
great
year
year.
for 11 sacks.
And then had a good year
And
this
then
year, too.
16 this year.
Yeah.
In the regular
he's-
season.
Comeback story. That's what I mean. Like, it's just like, sometimes you got to let these guys develop, you just don't know what you're getting. But, I mean, like I said, this story is great for, like, turnarounds of NFL careers and stuff like that. But their whole defensive line is just like that. And they can cover you up on the back end.
Pretty
too.
much.
So it's just, it's hard to pick against them. I'm really going to struggle with my pick. Ultimately, I had to pick opposite of what you do.
You got to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm
fine with that.
Taking the Eagles for
Because
sure.
I'm kind of leaning towards that way anyway. But
It's hard to feel bad having Mahomes as your pick.
right.
So
right,
it is
right.
what it is. We got to figure out a tiebreaker for this. Because if you do get it, we'll just be
Right,
tied.
we'll be tied.
So we can figure that out by next week.
All right, yeah, for sure.
Rap battle.
Yeah.
We might as well not even start that.
I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna win straight up anyway.
What?
Here we go.
I'm gonna win the pick straight up. We make the tiebreaker
say
whatever you
what?
want. I'm not gonna have to do it.
Hey. You getting in that motherfucking bathroom. My palms are sweaty. Nigga, you might get your ass on fucking around.
You don't want it to have to go there. I can tell you that. I'll embarrass you. Come out here spitting some woke bars. I'm gonna drop gun bars on your ass. I'm gonna get out of here talking about where the Lion King came from, bitch. I'm coming with a 45.
Ooh.
No.
Like Jordan.
No. Stop.
The worst part is it really took me like 2 or 3 seconds to process a name of any kind of gun.
Yeah. Got that shit off,
You know about a pistol.
Got that shit off.
Not a gun guy. But anyway, any other thoughts on the Eagles and 49ers?
Nah, man, I ain't got nothing too much to say. It was a blowout. They did what they were supposed to do. Got Purdy up out of there early. And then it was all smooth sailing for the rest of the game.
He's out for 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Torn UCL.
It's down bad.
But what the fuck is that? What's a UCL?
Elbow stuff. Very common injury in baseball for pitchers. So as soon as that happened, I had a feeling that's what it was. And
What do you think they do from here?
I don't know. They're kind of fucked because I was just reading today that Trey Lance is still recovering from his second ankle surgery.
I was thinking the same
He's
thing.
expected to be back by OTAs, but I still think he's not very good or won't be very good. So
I think he's going to be fantastic once they get him in. I feel like if you look at, and I get maybe Brock Purdy's that guy, but if he can do it, Trey Lance can do that shit in that offense. That's all I'm saying. Like, if Brock Purdy can do it, Trey
I
Lance
understand
should
the
be able
thought
to do
process on it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he should be able to do this.
Mathematically. It should add up. But we still got to see it, though.
If you can get Mr.
You still gotta
Irrelevant
see
to
it.
run the offense, you should be able to get Mr. 4th overall pick, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, mathematically.
I get that.
One would
It
assume.
should add up that way.
I get that. a lot.
That's
should
all
add up
I'm
that way.
saying. That's the one would assume. And if it works out that way for them, I mean, it'll be fantastic. That's, of course, the missing piece they've been looking for years now. And I mean, it's kind of always the same story with the 49ers that they just a quarterback short.
If that does work out for them that way, I think that's like obviously their best case scenario because you hate to have wasted the 4th overall pick.
Yep.
And it was going to be hard for Lance to be able to take the job back if Purdy's just coming in the next season healthy. So it like gives you a little bit of an excuse to go back to Lance, and if he can do what he's supposed to do, then everything is perfect. And yeah, at that point, everything works out exactly how you hope. But I don't know, man. It's not a great situation with all the talent that they have. It would be a shame to waste next year if they can't get it figured out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the thing with Lance is just is a dude who hasn't played a lot of football, just in general. He didn't play. I mean, injured this year. Didn't play at all really last year like that. I think he skipped his COVID year. So, and you know what I say? You don't get better from not playing football. So
you say that, but all your favorite players don't play the sport that they're supposed to play.
What are you talking about, bro?
Trey, Zion.
I didn't say he was my favorite player. I said
all your favorite players don't play the sport that they're paid.
They're not getting. They can't get better. Zion can't because I mean he's already top 5.
3.
He's already top 5. He's walking top 5. But you know these other guys
he can't walk. Can barely fucking walk.
When he back on his feet, motherfucker, when he 10 toes down, he'd be top 5.
Yeah, but he's gonna get into the All-Star talk.
He's gonna have 9 toes with the diabetes he's walking around.
Last take on the Eagles. Fun fact. But now both of Carson Wentz's backups have taken the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
That's crazy, son. Not a good look. Not a good look at all.
Crazy.
This is no new take, but I said it maybe last week or the week before. I just love Jalen Hurts.
He's the man.
The way he plays is incredible. All that shit. I just think he might be one of the greatest leaders in the NFL. He just seems like that dude at all times. I got so much respect for that guy.
Everywhere it goes.
I think they're going to be big time for a while.
Yeah, I mean, so they reach a point where they have to pay him,
right?
And I wonder how they'll respond to that. But yeah, I think
pay the man.
I think that's his strongest quality is his leadership. I think that's his superpower, I guess a unique trait compared to because if we were measuring that, like I think Mahomes has all of it, right? So he would definitely be up on that level. But Jalen Hurts, as far as a leadership, would be right there, if not slightly above, to where Patrick Mahomes is. That's just a guy who always says the correct things in the media. I think they asked him a question about, his performance and stuff like that after the game, and he quickly deflected and was like, "Look, man, this is not what we. Let's talk about this team, this amazing team that I'm on, these guys and how we got here and stuff. We all worked hard together. Just you call it generic or fucking cliche, but that's the type of shit you want to hear from your leader or whatever. Those kind of message points and stuff like that, always about team. And that's just the kind of guy he is. So,
well, I don't even mean this as a shot to Peyton. He's an example I use, Peyton Manning. I'm not taking it as a shot at him, but when he would give those answers, it comes off as he's just saying what he knows he has to say. I think Hurts is saying what he knows he has to say, but he delivers it in a way that it just seems genuine and believable. It's just the next level of leadership. To me, I don't know how anybody could see it and not notice that type of thing. And fuck just the way he treats the media and those type of situations. I saw, the pregame speech he's given to the team right before they hit the field and stuff. Dude's just a leader, just oozes leadership on top of all the actual talent that he has.
Lil Uzi. They walked the Eagles out yesterday too.
He did walk them out.
They walked the Eagles out.
I saw that. They had everybody over there on the sidelines. And Embiid and Kevin Hart standing next to each other. Hilarious picture.
Gillian Wallow was going to be out there.
It's no way
is so funny, bro.
Are the same species. No way that these are both humanoids.
That's hilarious.
What the fuck are we talking about? That's crazy.
I see that Embiid posted. They said father and son at the game.
Yeah. Embiid's always got jokes.
That's funny.
Well, next game.
Let's get it.
Yeah, that's the game, man.
Bengals Chiefs, another great game.
AFC Championship.
Where do you even start with this? Where do you start?
Hey, when you pop that shit, When you pop that shit all week, the disrespectful popping of shit from the mayor down, you got to come and back that shit up. Or they gonna pop that shit back when you take that L, and that's exactly what the fuck happened.
Yeah. Well, that's what I knew. My pick was wrong. I think the Bengals
can't poke the bear.
They're the better team. I think overall.
Yeah.
And I do think if they won't pop and shit like that, they probably would have won the game or found a way to win it at some point.
Started off during the game with Burrow head.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how y'all coming.
You can't put that kind of motivation out there. It'd be different if you were playing like the Jaguars or somebody who's like, this is their first time in this kind of situation.
Right.
We're talking about a team that's been there 5 straight years. It's something that we don't even think about, right?
I mean, but when you beat them 4 times straight, you might be feeling like, yo, we invincible against them a little bit.
This team has been in this moment, though, for 5 consecutive seasons.
Sure.
That's really like unheard of type territory.
Sure. This is just part of their schedule.
Right. They plan to be here. This
week in January, they'll be playing in the AFC Championship. That's just what it is.
And 9 times out of 10, it's like it's a home game for them.
Yeah.
This is their home game.
Yeah.
So I think, you got to be cautious when you're talking that type of trash. Don't give that team extra motivation. Exactly. They already have enough juice to make it here every fucking year.
And you ain't need to. Like I said, the proof was already in the pudding. You'd have knocked them out in their place already, like just last year.
Go in there and do what you do. That's cool.
There's no reason to pop shit. You had already proved that you can beat them.
Man, but that's when I realized, like, the fucking Chiefs are going to win this game. Because I've seen this story from the Bengals before. They get a little too happy and talk a little too much shit. And then end up blowing it at the end. So,
plus there was enough motivation already just because Mahomes was going to hear the narrative over and over from the media coverage of the upcoming game and stuff that he's been owned. And there's nothing he can do but own that is true.
Yep.
And already try to come out and prove that I'm not going to, this is not somebody I can't beat. Mm-hmm. So the motivation was already there. And then you add on top of it, the Burrow head stuff. And I don't think the mayor getting involved was like actually a major key motivation, but it just went along with everything else. So like anybody that didn't see it, the mayor said they want a DNA test to see if Joe Burrow is Patrick Mahomes' father.
Damn.
It's just like everybody's involved. Everybody thinks it's kind of a pre-written story that we're going to get this dub. And
how they gonna do that to Tom?
Yeah, it didn't
everybody know Mahomes is Tom's son.
That's the
everybody
issue.
know that.
But that's the issue, though. It's like that I be having because to me, I'm like, look, we got to stop these like fucking arbitrary arguments about these quarterbacks and stuff because even Joe Burrow and the Bengals could beat the Chiefs fucking 9 times out of 10. Is never going to be a day where I say Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. On one leg last night,
I don't want to take it too far now. I don't think it's arbitrary.
On one leg last night.
If you 4-0 against them, that's not arbitrary. It's like proving that you can beat them.
Your team is better. Yeah, your team goes in there and beats his team. But who is the better quarterback? It's not close. Nobody is really close to Patrick Mahomes. He's literally the best quarterback I've ever watched play the game. And I don't think I mean, come on. Like,
we back here again. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you can't just put people in the same realm just because it's like, from like a team statistic, like overall wins and stuff like that's cool. But at the same time, like look at it from an individual standpoint. Who's actually the better player? He's miles and way beyond what Joe Burrow could ever fathom of being. And you saw that last night on one leg, though.
I agree with you that Mahomes is the best. I think me and you were pretty much on the same page when it comes to Mahomes. And I don't think Burrow could have passed Mahomes. I know you were saying that if he beat him this game and went 4-0, you would have at least considered
and
him
win the
as
chip.
possible.
He has to win the chip too.
Right.
If he would have won the chip after beating Mahomes again, like the crown has been taken. That's why I was staying there with it.
I can understand that. I don't think that's crazy. I had said even if he won this game that it wouldn't change my opinion. I would still have Mahomes as the better quarterback.
Yeah.
But if Burrow went on a run where he does this the next 5 years and he has a run similar to what Mahomes has had the past 5 years, at that point in time, I think, then it's a legitimate thing to start questioning, is he the best quarterback overall, whatever. But I mean, I do think Mahomes is the guy, but I don't think it's as absurd as you make it sound, but at the same time, I know what your stance is. I don't expect that to change.
I mean, but who can do what Mahomes can do though? Like, he had what? How many wide receivers? They were down like 4 wide receivers last night.
Yeah,
this is just a guy like it's
so
very
many,
it's like, very few quarterbacks though that we've seen play that can put a team on their back type shit and really carry their team down the field and like is the literal driving force of why they win and lose games. Like. We got a lot of good quarterbacks.
I mean, the best are supposed to be that though.
But yeah, I mean, I think that wording. I think that's true of most of the best.
Even the best, like Jalen Hurts, is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But he's not that. He's not a guy who can put the team on his back. He's not that kind of guy.
You just gave it up to him as being one of the best leaders in the league. Is how you say he's not
right.
that.
Leadership and actual playing on the field is two different things, my brother. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I feel like he does both.
He plays well with the talent that they surrounded him with. But what happens when it's a void of that talent?
Everybody has to play well with the talent that they have.
Only Mahomes and I would say Lamar Jackson in this league can like be a multiplier of that kind of force or that level in this league to say like no matter what kind of shit situation that they're in, this team got a chance to win this game because this person is playing quarterback.
It's a playoff game for Lamar.
Yeah,
but continue.
Look at his overall record.
No.
But that's what I'm saying.
Can't do that.
That's all I'm saying.
Can you take that out?
Once we get past this Burrow Mahomes things, I want to come back to our discussion from last week. Quarterback discussion.
I don't know where to start. There's a lot that you said just now. I think because of the fashion, the way Mahomes played, it's crazy, the magical, the sidearm, the no looks and all that. It puts a little extra on it to where you make it like he's miles away from everybody. Yes, he's the best. He's been that for 3-4 seasons now since he won the Super Bowl, whatever. So yes, he is that, but I don't think he's miles beyond, especially when you see what Burrow has done to him, his record against him. That shows you right there. It's not a miles beyond thing. It shows us he's right there. Like I said, Burrow was 2 games away to me from being the best quarterback in the league. So it's like that's not miles away.
The question for you then in response to that. So did last night's performance change anything for Mahomes for you? Not in change that like if you thought he was the best, obviously you can't change much more than being the best. But do you think last night's performance elevated the way you would look at him in general? Because I think what Carl was saying, like being on one leg, quickly coming off of the injury that is supposed to be 3 to 6 weeks or whatever, and the fact that by the second half for sure, his receivers were Valdez-Scantling, some guy I've never heard of off the practice squad, and an injured. I don't even want to say injured Kelsey, because Kelsey looked fine while he was out there. Cool. But at that point they've got Kelsey blanketed with 2 guys. He was literally throwing to dudes I've never heard of. Once Juju went down, Tony went down, and Hardman went down. Yeah, and he went over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and not to mention the 2 touchdowns were like key 3rd down, 4th down situations where he's stepping up in the pocket, throwing on the run with the injury. I thought what he did last night might have been one of his most impressive performances ever, given how much was against him at that point.
I agree with the injury and everybody going down and all that. But I said last week, like, before, I'm not going to use that if they lose that because of his injury, because he's a guy that I know that can play through that shit. He's proven that he can play through these type of injuries and still help his team win, which is exactly what he did. But my thing is, Valdez-Scantling ain't no scrub. 6 catches for 160. He's not no scrub. He's not no scrub. Let me finish. He's not no scrub. But this is what I've been saying all year. When they lost Tyreek Hill, I'm gonna just read off the receivers that they have left to deal with: Valdez-Scantling, Kelsey, Pacheco, McKinnon, Kemp, Moore, Hardman, Tony, Schuster, Gray, and that's not even including what's the other dude's name? Kadarius Toney, I think I said his name too. Bro, you got 8 guys. You got 8 guys. I'm not using that as like a situation where he's got 8 top tier of the league guys, but you have a nice arsenal of fast guys that got hands that can make plays for you.
Didn't we just say
that makes him even more dangerous without Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, 4 of them are gone though.
Plus,
Sure.
right. MVS is a 3 receiver.
At best.
It's not a 4.
Who?
Valdez-Scantling.
Valdez-Scantling, yeah.
He's a 3 or 4 receiver.
Sure.
Hardman, I
3 or 4.
I think our view of Hardman as a weapon is tainted because we've seen him as a Mahomes weapon.
I agree.
If you put him elsewhere, I don't think Hardman is moving the needle at all.
I agree.
And I think you say the same thing about Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
McKinnon was a relatively second-tier sub kind of guy.
Yeah.
You put him on the Chiefs and he scored like 6 touchdowns the last 6 weeks of the season or something.
Yeah.
I think we give a little bit credit to these weapons because of what Mahomes can do with them.
I agree. I say I don't see the needs. None of these guys are like top tier guys in this league just because. But playing with Mahomes, if you got speed around Mahomes, which is most of these guys are speed guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Speed around Mahomes, that's all he needs because you just need guys to move around and get open. He's going to make the play because you got Mahomes. So I give him, that was crazy.
Basically what the Jags have built.
Yeah.
By the way.
You just got speed running all over the place. A dude with an arm that can throw it anywhere on the field. You're going to be able to make plays, find a way to make plays with anybody out there.
No doubt.
So I'm not putting it like because of the guys is why he's great. Because of Mahomes is why they're great. But having all that speed helps a lot. So when you have 3-4 guys fall down, you still got a Valdez-Scantling that can come in and make some plays. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying, though, is like the difference between Mahomes and other quarterbacks is like he makes those people what they are in a sense.
Sure.
Like he makes them their better self. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't that, and other guys like Justin Jefferson makes Kirk Cousins better. Like when you look at it from that lens, I would even say like, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Well, and they don't make any quarterback better, right? But they make a Joe Burrow better, just like a, Purdy or Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle make Purdy look good along with the scheme. It don't matter what scheme you put a Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna make your scheme look good.
I mean, having Travis Kelce makes him better. We're not going to
Travis Kelce's an all-time player.
That's what I'm saying.
But was he this Travis Kelce that we remember with Alex Smith? He was really, really good.
It was good. It was early.
I mean, he's been his elite self for like 5 years with Pat. It's yin and yang.
Yeah, it's fair to say that they both help.
They complement each other. I'm not saying that they don't.
Yeah.
But you can see that he can lose targets and still move the ball when necessary.
Yeah.
It's just, and win a game. That's impressive, I think, and we got to really start looking at this dude as, I don't know, a Michael Jordan-ish.
Well, do you think he's not already looked at that way?
I mean, yeah, but I thought
he's already been good.
I think he gets every praise he's deserving of getting.
And he has. I mean, we're talking about a dude who's won the MVP and shit, first year playing. So he's received a whole lot of glory and stuff like that. But I do think people are trying to find some slights or chinks in the armor and shit like that and trying to magnify them like they did this week. And it's like y'all were poking the bear and look what happened. That shit backfired.
Yeah, I mean, from the Bengals players, I think it was just obviously just being cocky. I think the only thing that I've seen that could be like considered a slight to Mahomes is the reactionary praise of Burrow, being that once he had the game that he had the week before this past, everybody was like crowning him as the greatest, and you would see some people saying, "Is he better than Mahomes right now?" and stuff like that.
Literally saying he's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, so I understand that, but I think that would be the only slight that Mahomes has gotten. He's viewed very favorably.
Yeah, I agree.
But before the game yesterday,
Curry of the league.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I was thinking about the conversation that we've had about the quarterback ranking and all this stuff. And my problem, I just kind of came up with this yesterday. My problem with your take on Burrow is you always come back to the weapons and these other guys that you think are better that don't have weapons. My problem with that take is it's there's no way you could ever be wrong.
Yeah, it's low hanging fruit shit. Like you can't blame the receivers as to why somebody is good.
Yeah, Burrow has these guys, and most likely they're going to keep at least one of them for the majority of his career, probably, or find somebody else that can step in and be another great target. But there's nothing that Lamar or Herbert could ever do that would like defeat your argument. It's just like an impending possibility that if they had the same guys as Burrow does, they would be better. I just think that's corny. That it's like there's no way you could ever be proved wrong. But if they get good players and have a better year than Burrow, you're going to be sitting here on this podcast telling us about how right you were. And I think that's just whack.
I mean, if that occurs, then that will be the case. But only time will tell with this stuff.
But your take it buys you 7 years.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a bullshit take. It means you're saying nothing. That means you're saying nothing. If your take is over the next 7 years, if Lamar Jackson and Herbert get receivers and ever have a better year than Burrow, your point is proven. But unless the next 7 to 8 years pass and it doesn't happen,
that's what the argument continues to happen.
I'm not saying
it's like you can keep moving the goalposts with that type of argument.
Just an impending,
we always be talking about in the now of today of what it is, and you talk about maybe the next couple of years if they get this guy, if he ain't had this and this situation happens, or they get this coach in. It's like, no, but what about today though? Today, how are we ranking who they are?
Look, and it's not necessarily a knock. I've explained this before, but. Look, it's time will tell. I'm not knocking Peyton Manning for playing with Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison and all of these great players that he played with his entire career. Like, I'm not knocking him for that, but it's just a fucking fact that he played with 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers in his career. That's all I'm saying with this. And over the course of time, the story will write itself where he ranks amongst quarterbacks. It won't need my endorsement or not, because he'll have the numbers to back it, and that's all you really need. But right now, while everybody's so young in their career and really in the same spot, kinda in their career, I think it's kind of unfair to just put it and say like, this guy is that and this guy is that. Mahomes has done it long enough to where it's to a point where he's solidified his spot to where he's at. I don't think anybody else has really done that to this point, or really had an opportunity to. They haven't played long enough. So I think it makes it
more realistic because they're all on the same level of years that we're comparing them to. That makes it more on the same level to me, not less. If they've all been here for 3 seasons and we've seen what they've done 3 seasons so far, we can say
I'm talking about how young they are in their career right now, and there's different pros and cons that you can pick from each player. It's all subjective at this point. That's all I'm saying. Like, so we got to look at it.
So then why did they go Mahomes off his second season? Because he won a Super Bowl MVP.
Because he won an MVP in the Super Bowl.
Sure.
That's different.
That's going to carry some extra weight with it, but.
Gotcha.
I just want to get this on the pod and we can move on to finish up with the actual game. But I can't remember if I said this last week while we were recording. The one thing that you can give Burrow all the weapons that he has, and nobody would argue that he has tremendous receivers. If you put T. Higgins on most other teams, he's probably another number 1 receiver. I wouldn't argue with you about that. But the line that he's had to play with for 2 years, I think should count as like an equaling of the two things. Whereas Herbert and Lamar don't have these receivers that you would want in comparison to Burrow. But they have a line that can actually protect them from dying on every single play. The beginning of that game, I mean, they had 4 sacks, and they had, I think, 3 sacks on 1 drive.
Yeah,
it was just like, I mean, the way he ended up finishing the game and even making it close, going back more towards the game. Yeah. The touchdown pass that he had to Higgins was so beautiful,
this was nice.
And Higgins, of course, made a beautiful catch on it as well. The deep ball to Burrow towards the end of the game. I'm sorry, to Chase at the end of the game.
That was nice.
Was an incredible
Double
play.
cover.
Both of them deserve a lot of credit on that. But honestly, I again was kind of impressed with Burrow, the way he played in that game, because they were just not blocking anybody at all.
They had a bet. They had a
Yeah, I mean the one pick. Honestly, I don't remember the first pick. The second pick was on the deep ball. It got tipped, and the other guy made a good play. He did throw it into double coverage, but I think they knew they had to try to get something downfield. I didn't think anything really bad about the picks.
The most impressive thing I thought.
Don't you be calling out picks? You tell us you don't give a fuck about picks.
It's all about how you respond.
You like your QB.
It's about how you respond. You lost the game. So at that point, I do. When you lose the game,
so picks are bad when you lose.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter when you win. The most impressive thing I think I saw from Burrow, though, was that little, it was probably only like an 11-yard, 10-yard run.
The run.
But when he hit that little wiggle,
he got off guard.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I was watching that. That made me say, it's one of those, that's what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I appreciate it, and I know he's capable of making plays like that. And I think he's, a really good quarterback in the league. top 3 for sure. But, it's just, I can't solidify him in that spot yet till I feel comfortable. And you guys are not going to make me move my needle based on this peer pressure that you're trying to apply in this situation.
I understand without a shadow of a doubt that you will never admit that you're wrong about anything. So I didn't expect this to move you at all. I just wanted to get it on record that the more I thought through your argument, the more I thought it was bullshit because it's just an ongoing indefensible thing that you can never prove wrong. And the same shit applies to Zion as well. That you get to just claim that he's the greatest no matter what, and he doesn't ever have to play. And we can do the same argument for 10 years and you'll never be wrong because we didn't even get to see it. So you just get to go off potential all the time while me and Moss have to be stuck here in reality.
It's craziness.
And I'll be honest, sometimes reality sucks, but it's kind of cool when watching sports to be in reality. You get to be in your dream world just telling us who's the greatest off the
The closest we're going to get is word admitting that it's all for personal preference necessarily, not necessarily fact.
No. That's
all it is.
He just said top 3. I'll let it ride.
I didn't say that though. That's what I don't. That's what I get.
You might have.
And overall, I've already conceded because coming out in the draft, I wasn't a Burrow believer. I told you guys I thought that he wasn't the best in his class, and I've already admitted that that's wrong. I've said that he's clearly better than Tua. I think it's a toss up between him and Herbert. I think that's a fair assessment in my opinion. But
I think that's a fair assessment. But I don't want to keep going down. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think that's fair after watching right now. But I understand what you're saying.
So you bumping one of your guys out of the top 3. Then, if you
you definitely had Lamar and Herbert ahead of Burrow.
I could put for time the current currency. I guess I could put
current currency.
Painful.
Currently. He breaking down over
there. Give me any word I can use.
Currently, he's got
I'll put
currency conspiracy.
I'll put him right after Lamar. I'll put him top 3.
Oh my God, I was hoping that you would make a logical thing and say Herbert, then him. Lamar's not top 3. Let's get the fuck out of here. But let's finish up this game.
He has an MVP.
Let's finish up this game.
I'm just saying that.
He did have a great year. That was an undeniably incredible year.
It was great.
Still didn't win anything. The rest of the game, a lot of talk about the officiating. What do we think about the officiating?
That's in football?
The Bengals game specifically. I will be honest with you, if I'm a Bengals fan, I am absolutely furious, and I would say that everything that happened on that one drive was complete horseshit, where they get the stop, and then they say, no, the play didn't count at all. And then the very next play, they get a sack, and they're like, oh, no, defensive holding in the secondary.
Yeah, some bullshit.
If I'm a fan, I'm saying this is absolute horseshit. I think objectively, when they showed the replay, the one ref way downfield was running onto the field, like waving his arms to stop the play, even though nobody could hear the whistle. So I think that is somewhat defensible. And just knowing Eli Apple, I'm sure he held on the second play.
Oh, he definitely did.
But if I'm a fan, I would be furious. And then there were other calls that people have commented on that I didn't think were egregious.
I don't remember Kansas City scoring any points on that drive. Yeah, they didn't. They didn't score any points. They still ended up punting the ball. So I don't see it being a big deal. Bengals fans are a bunch of crybabies. They've done this for years. They put themselves in this position. At the end of the game, it really reminded me of when the Vontaze Burfict shit, when he hit Antonio Brown and he got a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty for hitting Antonio Brown in the head or whatever. And during the break while they're checking on Antonio Brown, Joey Porter's on the field and him and Pac-Man Jones get into it. Crazy. And that gives the Steelers another 15 yards and we ended up kicking the game-winning field goal in a playoff game to beat them like 18-16 or some shit like that. Kind of the same scenario, just not as convoluted and a bunch of shit going on. But that personal foul at the end of the game is such a Bengals-like thing.
Yeah, well, you're talking about the hit on Mahomes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody say that was a bad call.
It was the right call.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's disputed that one. He just messed up and he hit him out of bounds. It was a clear 15-yarder. I saw those two that I mentioned were obviously talked about a lot, and then there was a bunch of other ones that were saying it was actually a holding on that play before Mahomes broke out into the open area to run.
They keep on saying that. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see that.
There was stuff like that being criticized.
Let's be real. It's holding on every fucking snap.
Right.
It's you could call pass interference probably. You could probably call holding, illegal contact downfield. All of these things, fucking false starts. You can call every snap. So I mean, just stop complaining. You know?
How you feel about that other, I guess, D lineman on the Bengals going in on dude that they hit Mahomes at the end of the game? They was kind of killing him because of that.
That was fucked up. He was like, why would you hit the quarterback? It was one of the linebackers.
It's my last year or something. It's my last year. Yeah. Why the hell would you hit the quarterback or some shit like that?
Why would you do that?
I think it's a fucked up thing to say. I mean, obviously,
that's how you gonna feel.
He's in the moment.
It's one of the things you gotta wait till you're in the locker room to get that off. It shouldn't have been on camera to get on the internet. That's all it was.
He apologized after. I don't know if it was that night or if it was today. I saw it this afternoon.
Yeah.
But he owned it. He was like, I was in the heat of the moment. I shouldn't have said that kind of thing. So I don't really have a big problem with it. I did think it was really cool. Did you see the other teammate standing with the guy that made the penalty during his press conference?
Holding him down.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that was
I thought that was
one of the
really
linebackers, cool. Pratt, I think it was.
Well, Pratt's the one that was yelling.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, no. I forgot who the other guy was.
I'm not sure what his name was, but I just thought it was dope. It literally was just standing there next to him like, I'm going to be here with you while you got to answer these tough questions.
That's a rookie.
And then
that guy's a rookie, right?
Really?
Or
the guy that made the hit? Or the one
I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. Or it's like his second year or something like that. Real young player, and he had a good game.
Right.
They had just talked about how good of a game he was having right before that shit happened. You know how they set
That's
you
how
up.
it always goes.
They set that boy up for that shit. But, I mean, it's just unfortunate. One of those bang plays. It's not like his intention was trying to stop fucking Patrick Mahomes, goddammit. So
they're both going absolute full speed. Mahomes has turned on the burners as best as he could with his injury, trying to get that first down. And the dude is chasing him as fast as he can right behind. I mean, it's a clear penalty, but it's just a mistake,
Yeah. Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's just the wrong time that shit happened. If it would have happened in the first quarter, nobody gives a fuck.
Nah,
but it's the last play of the game, so
to give him
the second to last play of the game, give him the 15 yards. That's neat. But they were still going to be in field goal range. I think
were they? I don't remember.
They had like 8 seconds left after that. I think they would have said it was like a long field goal, maybe like a 50+ yarder or something. So they still had time to probably get a quick out, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of play where they can get out of bounds real quick and maybe pick up 5 or so extra yards. I still think they end up kicking the field goal and winning the game without that assistance. But of course, we'll never know now.
Right.
True indeed. Speaking of bad calls or bad refs,
moving there.
Let's go there.
It was a big rivalry game this weekend.
Let's go there.
Lakers Celtics, probably one of the biggest rivalries in the league. Went down. It was a rough week for the Celtics. I think I was telling you about it in the chat. We had previously lost in that same week 3 losses. One of them was to the Magic. The third time we lost to the Magic. They beat us twice at home. Then they beat us in Orlando. Yeah.
That's insane.
They beat us in December on back-to-back games. Why is it so funny, bro?
It's the Magic, bro.
I know. I don't know what the fuck it is with the Magic. They beat us on back-to-back games at home. Then they beat us in Orlando this week for the third time. I think we got one more shot at them.
That's crazy.
But they won the in-season record, so to speak. So we took that L, and then our other big rivalry against the Knicks, we played them the other day. Big game. Randall was going dumb. Couldn't miss shit in that game.
He's been a monster this year.
They beat us in that game. So then we was ending the week off with our biggest rivalry against the Lakers. So I was like, we got to get this done. It's been a rough week. If any team we can beat, we have to beat the Lakers.
Right.
We got to have those bragging rights a little bit.
Y'all was losing the majority of the game, right?
Yeah. Lakers was playing pretty good.
I thought
they was hitting. They was hitting for most of the game. They was up. We stayed in the fight. It was like back and forth for a lot of the game. And it came down to the wire. Overtime game. Last regulation of the game kind of went a little crazy. Motherfucking Pat Beverly catching the fucking putback dunk to tie the game at the end.
That was nuts.
Well, to take the lead, actually, it took the lead with that.
Right before that, he hit a monster three,
Hit
too.
a big three.
With,
I think he was
good defense.
He
on
hit
it.
like 3 or 4 threes that game. He was feeling it. So every
That's
time they left him
crazy.
open, I was like, this motherfucker feeling it this game. He gonna hit that bitch. So he was hitting from 3, had that putback dunk at the end of regulation. Then we went right back down the court. Jaylen Brown went like basically coast to coast, got all the way to hit the layup, and Pat Beverly hit him in the head for a foul, which they was mad about because he went to the line, hit the free throws, sent us into overtime. But so they was mad about that shit, even though you seen the replay, he clearly hit him in the back of the head on the layup. So it was a good call. But that happened. Went to overtime.
Was the LeBron play? The LeBron play was end of regulation.
Regulation, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Jaylen Brown jump was what tied it up. That happened right before. It was like 3 back-to-back plays and shit happened. Go down. LeBron goes all the way down to the layup. Like 4 of our guys around him. Tatum, and in the replay, you can see him slaps him on his arm. They ain't call shit. Blew the layup. They're going to overtime. Getting Braun was going off, all hysterical and dramatic and shit.
Yeah,
all on the floor.
we got to stop there and talk about that. So that was a clear foul.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like it was probably a foul in real time, but when you saw the replay, it was super obvious. He got smacked right in his arm to miss the layup.
Yeah.
The LeBron reaction was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's just
I hate me some LeBron. So watching him cry like a bitch at the end of this play was
people were saying because they knew he knew they was going to lose in overtime. He was like, "We have to win this right now."
But he dropped to his knees. He's like face down on the court. He's yelling. He's screaming. He's crying. It was so fucking funny. And I saw something today on one of these podcasts or whatever. I think it's Chandler Parsons. Chandler Parsons is the dude that used to play for the Mavs, right? I got the right name?
Yeah.
White dude?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, at the Rockets too.
He said something like, my French bulldog could get hit by a truck and I wouldn't have the reaction that LeBron had.
That's funny.
It was
That's
so
super
funny.
exaggerated.
He was hella exaggerated.
But that's
on
how
that
he
shit.
is. I would be pretty pissed too, though. I mean, that's a really big moment.
Yeah.
That's just a foul that you can't miss.
Yeah.
I get you want to let them play it out too.
Of course, they got it right in the morning. Yeah, we missed this call in the regulation.
I mean, it's just such an obvious foul. And for the most part, we're talking about, I don't know, LeBron James driving to the paint. Like,
it is surprising that he wouldn't get that.
Right, it's fucking LeBron James.
Right.
If he doesn't make that layup 9 times out of 10, he probably got fouled.
Right. But at the same time, like, take the names and stuff out of it. I am a huge fan of not calling fouls in general on that last second shot. I mean, if it's an obvious foul, I'm not saying you shouldn't
If it's
call
blatant,
it.
you got to call it.
Right. I would have no problem if they called it, but I like
not no
that.
tic-tac
I like
fouls,
them being tight with the whistle on a last second drive. Somebody's trying to get a buzzer beater off or something like that. But that one was a really bad miss. I mean, it was a clear foul. Pat Bev, though. That was the funniest part of the whole thing.
He went and grabbed the camera.
He
got a tech for that
took
shit,
it to the ref and said foul.
The ref's reaction was so funny. He was like almost just disappointed. Like, you really gonna show me this?
Like,
You
why
know
you
I
gonna do
have
that?
to tee you up, dog. Bam, hits him with it.
So it started overtime with technical foul shots.
They started overtime down 2-0. How does that happen?
Yeah. Out the
Well,
gate.
game over, ain't it?
Out the gate. So then, it came down to the wire. JB hit some big shots.
Oh, he was
in overtime.
unstoppable at the end.
Went dumb. Had 37 to finish the game off. We pulled it off in the end, got the dub. So yeah, they was
had like
raving about that
47,
shit.
didn't he?
Yeah, 41.
41. Oh, he had a hell of a game.
Almost had a trip dub.
Much as I hate the guy.
He was
I
balling.
mean, he's having a terrific season.
It really is retarded how good he is at his age.
Yeah, it's next level.
I'm not saying he's getting better, but his numbers are. Like, his numbers are better now than they were when he's like earlier in
Like
his career.
efficiency stuff?
Or across the board. Points per
He's
game.
not scoring more than he did before,
It's
right?
about the same.
All right, yeah.
But
it's
I'm saying
crazy
overall,
impressive.
like rebounds, assists, and shit like that, they're pretty much up across the board.
Yeah, so he had the same
from,
average as his
MVP
third season as he has now.
Like, yeah, compared to his
That's
MVP
ridiculous.
seasons, his numbers, even like, except for maybe efficiency, I think maybe he's like a couple percentage points lower, but he's still shooting like 50%.
His shooting has certainly gotten better the longer he's been in his career.
Yeah.
Like a 3-point shooting.
As he should.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what he's doing is crazy impressive. He also has had, no AD for a lot of the games this year.
Yeah. Just got back.
I saw that he rolled his ankle the first game back, shooting a half-court shot before the second half or something.
You can't catch a break out here, bro.
I was going to mention this about Kadarius Toney as well. Just fucking Mr. Glass, son.
Yeah.
This dude cannot stay healthy to save his life. The play he got hurt on, nobody touched him. He made a little juke move and just goes down. His ankle is done for the day.
Yep.
Him and AD are cut from the exact same cloth. The craziest athleticism you'll find, stupid talent, cannot stay healthy for nothing.
Speaking of that, just reminded me of like 2 gambling joints that didn't hit for me. I had Kadarius Toney scoring.
Oh, I had him first touchdown.
And they had that, they missed that. But I had that parlay that I put in, that I gave you earlier, the Miles Sanders and Pacheco joint. Miles Sanders here, Pacheco scored the first touchdown, holding call to get shit back. So it was back-to-back touchdowns that I was supposed to hit that they got called back, and the other one they reviewed it and said it wasn't a catch for Kadarius Toney.
The Toney
this a bitch.
Crushed my spirit.
This
like,
a
you gotta make
bitch.
that fucking catch.
That shit was
he did the hard part.
You gotta make that.
He did the hard part and then just couldn't finish it.
back-to-back.
That's that Dez Bryant shit.
Missed both of them.
Right.
That was that Dez Bryant shit.
Yeah.
Do we want to y'all had some coaching changes and shit. We gonna get into that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah, go
well, I mean, we finished. Did you have anything else on the Celtics?
No, that's it. We got the dub.
Where are y'all at ranked right now? Did this Philly pass y'all? Is that right?
No, they passed us in the power rankings. We're still leading the East. We're at the best record in the league still, 36-15. Philly are 32-16.
I think Philly. I think
But
I
the
saw
power
that
ranking
they
show Philly
won.
moved ahead of us. I guess because we had a bad week this week.
I
But
believe I
still
saw
got the
that
best
Philly
record.
won 17 of the last 21. So
Yeah, they've been rolling.
They're on a hell of a run
rolling.
right now. Well, I'll come back to the Panthers coaching thing. I do want to mention that. But speaking of the Sixers, you had brought up, I think just me and you had recorded that week when we talked about the NBA All-Stars. And we were saying it was Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, give me the
And KD.
KD. 4 guys in the backcourt. Somebody was going to have to get left off.
Starting 5.
Embiid is the guy that got left out of the starting 5.
Yeah.
He went for like 47 and 18 the game after it happened against the Nuggets, against Jokic.
Yep, against Jokic. Back-to-back MVP.
We had kind of said back at that time, there's no real wrong answer between those 4 guys. Whoever you pick as the 3 starters are going to be a great choice.
Yeah.
But I think he got cheated still. I think KD was the guy that should have got left off. I was looking at numbers and stuff this year. He's had a great year. There's no taking away from any of the 4.
Yeah.
And Embiid is averaging 34 and 10.
Yeah, he's going nuts.
KD's having a great year, but he's at like 29 points, and the Phillies ahead of them in the rankings. Durant's hurt right now.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they were doing. But it was a fan vote, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got to put it in perspective. 50% of the vote is fans.
Right. Yeah,
25 is press, and 25 is players.
Okay.
So fans are way bigger fans of KD than Embiid.
Right.
And a Tatum probably as well. And a Kyrie. I guess who else was starting? It was the other guy, Giannis.
Donovan Mitchell was the other starter.
All right, fanfare is going to win you the All-Star.
Fan vote. Starter. Okay. Then I don't care that much anymore.
What?
It wasn't like a league thing.
I think
where
Philly has like most. Embiid is like the villain kind of character.
Yeah, he's a troll, so you're gonna have a lot of haters, as well as a lot of fans.
So he has a lot of haters, but so it makes sense as far as the voting shit goes. But right, like you said, it wasn't a wrong answer. Any of them could have started, but yeah, he had a nice response to that. In the very next game after that came out,
knew he was going to.
Yeah,
when he's hitting threes, there's nothing you can do. I think he was 4 for 6 that game. That guy's too good to have to guard from 3-point range as well.
It was nice.
He's another one that injury probably stops him more than any defender does.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
I just every year about this time of year we have the conversation about, is this Philly's year?
Yeah,
and
it's been the process.
They have to do it. They have to do it before we I think have that conversation seriously again. If they go and win the next 40 games in a row, it still doesn't matter to me until they get past the hump.
Right.
The regular season doesn't matter.
Is the process still a thing, or is that done because Ben Simmons gone? Since he was part of the process.
I think the process is over.
Yeah, I think it ended a couple years ago.
It was a rebuild was the process, and I think it was a successful process, to be honest with you. But at this point, they've plateaued, and you got to get to the next level, or there's not much to talk about.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Any other NBA stuff while we're here?
Well, the Starters came out. Me and Ward was talking about, Zion getting the start.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. He's talented enough to be a starter.
It's fanfare, man.
Yeah, I guess again
Fans
though,
love Zion.
if it's fans, then I don't think it's that serious. I don't really care. But if it were like player, coach, whatever voted, and we're actually looking for the guys that have been the best 5 at their position,
Right now, look, I'm still getting notifications from the Zion posts. Fans love this guy.
I get it for the R. Kelly one.
No, who else besides Zion?
Sabonis is having
Sabonis and marketing
guy.
have been going nuts this season.
Marketing too.
They have been going nuts in the West.
Zion's missed 20 games.
Yeah.
If you just look at his averages, I don't have any problem with him being an all-star. But they've played 50 games-ish is what most teams in the league are at. He's missed 20 of them. He's played in 60%. That shouldn't be enough to get you as a starting all-star. Outside of the fan vote thing. Like I said, once you mention it's fan vote, I don't really care. I don't think it's that serious. But and I can't imagine that he plays. If he plays in the all-star game, when we can't get the motherfucker to suit up for our team
Nuts.
60% of the time, that's crazy.
That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
I doubt he plays, but
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I think he deserves it. When he's been on the floor, he's been arguably the most dominant player at his position. So, hey.
In the West.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool.
The fan vote takes all my rage out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be mad about.
Once
Like
you're
if
in
the
the
fans
fan
are
votes,
picking
it's
his
like-
legs.
They love this motherfucker. Nobody
It's a
loves
popularity
marketing.
contest at the end
I
of the
like
day.
marketing, but it's like nobody loves this motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He'll be traded tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like
I might love marketing.
Morgan is nice, though.
This dude is
That motherfucker's nasty.
retarded. It doesn't
He's
make
big.
sense how good of a scorer he is without being
Yeah.
talked about at all.
Yeah. Because
well, he
in
had
Utah.
like.
Donovan Mitchell did the same
supposed to-
thing. He was balling over
Well,
there.
he's supposed to be that, like, coming out. And I'm not sure I haven't really kept up with his career,
Yeah.
but I know. Like,
With the Bulls, right?
Yeah. When he got drafted by the Bulls, he's supposed to be that guy coming out.
Ironically, the All-Star game is in Utah this year. Which is wild.
Yeah,
That sucks.
Yeah.
mean,
so even
it
more
just-
so why you should be a starter.
Marketing is just one of those guys. It's like it's hard to imagine him not being really good at basketball.
with
He
his size
possesses
and
all the
skill set.
skills,
Yeah.
and he's fucking 7 feet tall. It just makes sense that he can score a lot. You know,
He might be white KD.
He's a Trevor Lawrence of NBA.
Give me the comparison on this. Where are we going with that?
Because he went to Utah and people had him projected to be the worst team in the league, and they was like,
okay.
like top 3 for most of it.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Rising the stock of a team that shouldn't be in the mix because they've been balling.
My NBA time is about to turn up. Once football is
I
coming
mean, I've
to
been
an
on
end.
it, but yeah. It's on.
I pay attention a decent amount, mostly because of bets and stuff. But once football ends, it'll really be like it's football. It's basketball season at this point.
Coming
I'll
down
be
the
watching
stretch.
a lot more games.
Yeah.
Coming down the stretch. I like it.
Yeah. So go back to the Panthers. Panthers hired Frank Wright as the coach. I have a decent opinion on this, but I'm more interested in what y'all thought.
When I saying that he was the former Colts coach that got fired, I was like, why would y'all pick up this guy? I didn't really
That was
understand
my
it.
first thought.
I didn't really understand it. But then when I seen the correlation, it was y'all's first quarterback as an expansion team. I was like, okay, I see the storyline with it, but it doesn't mean he's going to be a good coach. But, you see.
But Frank
Let's see how it
Wright,
works.
he was a good coach for the Colts, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, they were just a bad team this year, but for the most part, when he's been there, they've had winning records, right?
yeah.
With a solid team on a quarterback carousel type of situation that he was in.
Yeah.
I had pulled up his stats after we hired him.
He's been in a shitty situation as a coach a bit, and he kind of,
Made the best of it.
yeah, they had a top defense while he was there.
Yeah.
They had a top running game, top offensive line while he was there.
He was there for 5 seasons. They
Yeah.
were 10-6, 7-9, 11-5, 9-8, and then the 3-5-1 before they fired him. So
he has-
3
he's been a
good years,
coach.
1 kind of average, and 1 bad one. That made me feel a little bit better. And then as I've been hearing more stuff about, his work with quarterbacks and stuff has made me feel a lot more.
Yeah, if you got a young quarterback, I couldn't imagine saying that anybody's better to work with than Frank Wright, just given his track record. Andrew Luck was really successful under him. I think he was a quarterback coach or coordinator or something like that during that time. Carson Wentz in his early
like
seasons,
an offensive coordinator with the Eagles or something.
Yeah, when Carson Wentz was really putting together really strong performances, and of course they won a Super Bowl. It's a guy who knows football though. He's a successful backup quarterback in the NFL for a long time. So I think it's a solid hire. I think he probably got the. They were just looking for somebody to blame for the Colts, but it was that quarterback situation is the blame overall, and he's probably partly to blame for that, sure. But as far as like just knowing football, and he's won enough games, I think, to get the job. So,
did y'all have any thoughts about Steve Wilkes not getting the job? There's been a lot of discussion about that post the hiring. Have you seen any of that stuff, or is that outside of your radar?
He was the interim coach. I don't think. Why would he? It's not like. How many games did y'all win under? Y'all didn't like.
We're 6-6 under him.
Yeah, right. So about an even team. I don't think Yeah, he did a fine job, but is that what you want? Is that what you want to be? A mediocre 6-6 team? And I'm not sure if Steve Wilkes has had any head coaching experience. Maybe
he was the head coach for the Cardinals, and they were really bad, and he got fired.
So you go with a guy who's had a lot of success. I mean, I don't know. I think people kind of undermine the work that Frank Reich did there, but I mean, he at least had some competitive teams while he was with the Colts. So it seems like a logical hire to me, especially if your plan is to bring in a young quarterback. So, and they have to do that. So,
yeah. I think this was another pod that me and Moss had did. It might have been the same one where we talked about the All-Stars. And I was mentioning him, it was towards the end of the season, and a lot of the reports that were, like a lot of the articles, a lot of the headlines that you were seeing was people saying that Steve Wilkes has done enough to earn the job. And some of the other phrasing that they were using, to me, it just sounded like it was going to be a situation where if he didn't get the head coaching job, that it was going to be because the Panthers owner is racist and they didn't want the black coach. I could kind of see the writing on the wall while it was going down. And while I liked, they would show post-game locker room speeches and stuff. He seems like a really great leader of men. There was a lot of players that had voiced their affirmations for him being named the head coach, which obviously I think should weigh a lot in the search. But what I was hoping for is one of these young guns. I want one of these young coaches. They seem to be taking over the league. I wanted one of these young dudes that's going to put in some crazy offense. This is what I was hoping for as a fan.
But which one is really taking over the league like that, though?
Out of the names, either the McVays, the Packers head coach, the Shanahan's. They're just.
But Shanahan's older now. He's not.
I mean, what is he, 40?
He's been that coach for like I don't know, like almost 7 years or some shit. He's been there for,
I'm not saying brand new coaches. I'm just saying we've seen this revolution of new younger coaches in their 30s, 40s, bringing in different offenses. The Dolphins coach. I just thought it's exciting to think about some young boy genius.
Jimmy Neutron.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. So when that didn't happen, I was like, if they can't find a better candidate, I have no problems with Wilkes being the head coach.
Right.
But he went 6-6. I mean, it wasn't like he did this miraculous turnaround. It just speaks more to how bad Rule was. And I don't think he did anything that stood out. All we did was start to run the ball and not throw the ball so much.
You're just a good
It's just like, you just did what was obvious from the beginning.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's kind of turned into this thing is a little bit frustrating. And I do think it, I was seeing articles afterwards talking about he wasn't even offered the defensive coordinator job, which is what he had before. And I'm just like, of course he wasn't.
Right,
there was players on the team that said he should be the head coach. Why would you keep him around and have any possibility of a locker room fraction between this is the guy I wanted versus the actual coach that you took? It's just not good for the team.
I'm not even sure if that part is like the actual issue. Because, I mean, I feel like if a guy is super qualified or like has that kind of track record as a defensive guy, then, a newly hired head coach would probably want to keep somebody like that on. But I don't know if Steve, I mean, he's not known for churning out like top 5 defenses or coming up with like this. He's not like a Dick LeBeau type situation. That's all I'm saying. So it's
Fangio.
Like, yeah, Vic Fangio. So what you're going to do as a head coach, you're going to find your
Most new
guy.
head coaches like to bring in their own guys.
Yeah, you're going to find your guy. Unless this guy that's there is some legendary fucking defensive guru.
Yeah.
And Steve Wilson find another job elsewhere. It's not a big
Makes
deal.
sense.
You can't say that, the Panthers are any kind of racist or anything because it's like they Gators got an opportunity to begin with. They could have picked anybody on the coaching staff to be there. And they could have said the water boy if they want to. Right. I mean, we saw what happened with the Colts.
Yeah, you could have signed,
you know what I'm saying?
the former player. Greg Olson could have.
Right. Come on down from the booth right now.
Best announcer in the booth right now, by the way.
You think so?
I do. Romo is nearly unwatchable when he's on. At first, when he
He's
came
been
on,
saying some shit lately that I'm like, y'all, that's not even what happened.
when he first came on, he was so fun to watch because he was, guessing plays and shit and calling stuff before it happened. As an actual announcer, he's like constantly doing this. What do you think right here? It's like, yo, relax, bro. Relax.
The overachiever again.
Yeah, he's doing too much.
Everybody fool.
Doing
That's
too
funny.
much. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the hire. Given that he does have this track record with young quarterbacks, I think we were going to get one regardless. But
Which one do you want?
I want Stroud.
Stroud?
I want CJ Stroud. I'm concerned that Bryce Young is too tiny. They say he's
small,
5'9".
man. You see the pictures of him next to Kyler Murray?
No.
Kyler Murray a little bit taller.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, if we draft him, I'm going to be sitting here telling you how good he's going to be.
That
So
motherfucker, they've been going in on his size a lot because he's listed at like 6'1" or something like
worried
that, or
about
6
that.
feet. But he's like standing next to Nick Saban and like they about the same height, like eye to eye type shit.
I'm ready to give up the big package, whatever it takes. Give it up to the Bears. Go get the number 1 pick. Get CJ Stroud, and let's start an actual rebuild. Let's do it.
No Will Levis for you?
Like I said, whoever we draft, I'm going to come in here and tell you is the best quarterback that we could have gotten. So it doesn't matter if it's those two guys, Will Levis, or this Florida kid that
I
they
like
say
Anthony
has
Richardson,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, Richardson. I'm hearing
I think
crazy stuff
if you
about.
want to take a risk on somebody,
Well, I don't.
I think that's the guy you take the risk on. Like if you're not able to jump up to one, and get the guy, you get him because that dude does some different things for football, bro. It's like,
that's the projection right now. Is if we don't trade up, that's who we would take 9th. And if that happens, I'm fine with it. He's got the raw talent. But what I hear about Levis is incredible. It's hard for me.
One of them Instagram quarterbacks. Yeah, that's what I call them.
What's that? That's what they say about Herbert.
That's what I say about Herbert. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know, but I think
he just does fancy
Herbert's
throws.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks.
They rave about this
Like
kid.
what you see, huh?
It's just.
It looks good, bro.
It's just hard to ignore
super
how
compact release, like tight spiral. It's like he has all the attributes that you want in a quarterback and stuff like that. But
it's just hard to ignore how terrible his team was last year.
They sucked.
I mean, from what I've heard, they were just awful, and he was in a shit situation. But you look at college quarterbacks. I watch you go terrible in the SEC. Was it Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to get excited about that. But if we draft him, I'm gonna be dumb hype.
That's a big red flag.
Anybody but Darnold. I'm back in that camp again.
Yeah.
But let's keep it moving. Enough Panthers. We got a couple of music stuff.
A little bit.
What do you have for us, Moss?
Complex is named 21 Savage as the best rapper of the year in 2022.
What the fuck was this based off of?
I have no idea.
Did he even make? Oh, he had the Drake album.
Yeah, that was it.
But he
Did he
didn't
do
drop his
anything
own
else?
album.
He was on a few features, but his only album was the Drake album.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't agree.
That's crazy. It's up there with Macklemore's Grammy. That's crazy. Best rapper of the year? For what?
I don't know.
That's insane.
I don't have nothing to defend it. I mean, I guess he's been kind of like real relevant for most of the season.
Lots of clicks.
Yeah.
Gotta click on the article to see what the fuck are they even looking
We
at.
sure this wasn't the Clubhouse list?
No, it's
Most
close.
talented
Complex.
That's Clubhouse performance.
Yeah, that's Clubhouse performance.
They might be associated. I don't know, but that's what they named him. I don't have nothing
What's
to
the top
defend it.
5 on this list?
I don't think there is none. They
was
just
just
named the best rapper.
Oh.
It wasn't like a list.
Oh, so he paid for that shit.
Maybe.
Oh, got it.
Somebody paid. Who would be your choice? I don't even have one. I'm not even gonna act like I have one. Who would be your choice for this past
It
year? Who
had
was
to
the
be
best rapper?
between for best rapper. It had to be between Kendrick, Pusha, and Drake.
All right, I'm not mad at that. What would you say?
Pusha.
Yeah, the album was it last year?
No, he dropped the album this year.
Why would he
Yeah,
be
well,
considered
one of the best albums of the year.
Best, that's mind blowing, dude.
You still have it. You still don't believe that he was the best rapper in 2018 that year, but
I don't know
They
where
totally
you're putting
year.
him in this conversation with Drake. And but I say Lil Baby still is a rapper, bro. And he had a way.
he ain't drop shit.
Did he do anything last
He
year?
drop
dropped an
an
album. His album was huge.
This
bro.
is-
That was last year.
Yeah,
That would make more sense to me
His
than
album was
21.
huge. We talking about he sold almost 250,000 copies first week.
I think that's a good reason.
What are we talking about? That's all. Come on, stop it. Dude,
Pusha's album is talked about as the best album of the year. Isn't that conversation?
to who?
It was.
Is what you mean to who? To all the award shows.
Don
He's in
Miller.
the best hip hop album of the year category. What you mean?
I don't know.
What would be your answer? Lil Baby is your answer, or do you have
I
anybody
would
else?
say Lil Baby.
I feel like he had a quiet year. Maybe last year you could have said Lil Baby, but not this year.
I don't remember.
This year.
We said 2022 is when his album dropped.
No, 2021 was when he was on fire.
But he just dropped an album that did crazy numbers and is still spinning.
Okay. I didn't think that was a good album, but sure.
I think it's a fire album. Back
I
front to
get
back. But it's
That was
subjective.
October.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
recently.
That's crazy.
It was recently.
That feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was recently.
That's crazy.
'Cause they got that Hey song.
That makes sense to me.
That was a single.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I did hate that song, but he makes sense to me because he is somebody I think of as like being the biggest popularity type thing right now.
I mean, even if you went with an NBA young boy, I can understand.
I can make a case for. I can't make a case for 21. I
Or
can make
Pusha
the
T.
case for NBA. No, I can make a case for Push. You haven't even heard the music, so you can't comment.
Very
You just a
shit.
Pusha
You can't
hater,
even
so
hear it. Yeah.
you don't think you should
I'm
ever
not
be
a
brought
hater.
up.
I think he's a
are
very talented rapper.
No, you can't. You
You a
can't just hate on the man for 7 years straight and be like, I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
I'm
Ever
not.
since he
I'm
beat
not.
Drake in that battle, you've
Yep.
been hating on him ever since.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all just
Because you
take
won't
it too
accept that he
far.
lost. He took the L.
People take it too far. Just take it-
I put Gibbs.
He was-
had in 21.
Yeah,
He's
Gibbs had
a spooky rapper. That's what Pusha T is.
The fuck you
He's
think 21 is?
He's trying to scare somebody on the track. This is fucking
Works, it works.
These late night horror story tales. The Goosebumps rapper. This is
R.L. Stein, motherfuckers.
Yeah, Drake put out the project called Scary Hours. So let's not do that.
He's trying to be
He's
scary.
trying to be scary.
Bitch, ain't nobody
scared of fucking Drake.
no.
Scared of falling out the balcony at your shows, my guy.
Oh, shit.
He won
That's
$1 million off
hilarious.
the Chiefs, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Drake. I can't hate on
Smart
that.
bet. Smart man.
I was gonna put the bet in, and once I saw he did, I didn't. Oh, I missed out.
Yeah,
Well, it came down to the fucking wire.
I did.
definitely did. Definitely
What else? See, I
did.
feel like you had another one. I might have even jotted it down. There was something else hip hop related. Oh, you said Nike Bape. I don't know what this is
Nike.
about.
Nike is allegedly suing Bape, Bathing Ape, for stealing their style shoe, which is basically where I think everybody knew that the Bathing Ape shoes is exactly like Air Force Ones. They just put a star on there or whatever their logo
I don't
is.
even know
with
these
the little-
shoes.
You don't know Bathing Apes? I thought you was a big Pusha T fan.
I know the brand. I don't know the shoes. I don't just buy shit because my favorite rappers have a brand.
I mean, I would never buy an actual
I like
pair
their
of Bathing
music.
Apes.
Yeah, I never was a fan of the shoes. Their hoodies was hard though.
They almost like one. That's almost like the first rap designer, wasn't it? Bathing Ape. Like people used to talk about that shit so much.
These are Bathing Ape shoes with a little star. They're basically like Air Force One lows with the stars.
They certainly look identical.
But they've been around for about what, fucking 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So I think
just now-
It
suing them?
was some kind of agreement that they had with Bathing Ape.
I mean, the way the suit is like they try to get whatever you've made over the last 20
Retroactive.
years. We need all that.
no, apparently.
So I feel like they like waited.
I mean,
I
I
got
don't
something
know.
going. All right, we'll let y'all make as much money as possible and take all that shit.
From what I've seen is that because this is an overseas, like Bathing Ape is an overseas company. It's not an American company. So they was allowed to do they shit wherever they was at. But then they started putting like stores over here or something like that. And then that's what made it different. I think which opened up the door for them to sue him. But Nike's been on the spree with that shit. They suing that dude, Omni Hellcat.
Yeah.
He got like a
Jordan ones. They look like Jordan ones.
Yeah, he got the knockoff Dunks and Nikes and shit. And then this is other brand and shit. That
Nike come for all that because they got patents on that look of shoe. So everybody that's made a replica that looks like that look of shoe, they have a patent on that style of shoe. Air Force Ones, Dunks.
I think some people have found like some loopholes in that shit. So I mean, you got to prove it in court, but they got like 3 active lawsuits on I guess copyright type shit.
Nike don't lose, bro. They're not gonna lose that.
I mean, yeah, they're going against like independent companies and shit.
Yeah.
So they
can't win that battle.
They go strong arm these motherfuckers out of business.
Pretty much.
You don't even have the business to go into, to step in these courtrooms and afford these kind of lawyers and stuff. That'll take your business.
That makes sense.
By itself. So, yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to do. But, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Seeing how it's all playing out right now.
I hadn't heard about that at all.
Yes, indeed. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy.
Do you have anything else?
Oh, damn, it's kind of wild. Oh, how y'all feel about they bringing up G League players to be in a dunk contest? That your boy Mac McClung gonna be in a dunk contest this year. He's in the G League.
I don't care. I don't have a problem with it. If it's not the stars, I don't care if his G League guys are the 7th guy on the NBA bench. It means nothing to me anymore.
I think it's a disgrace that the stars won't step up to the fucking plate.
No, well,
at the end of the day, because that's the only reason why they having to do that.
Right.
John Morant, Zion, who are the other jumpers? A bunch of young jumpers is nice
Anthony
too.
Edwards.
It's like, yo, step up to the plate. Step up to the plate.
It's only one person to blame.
You think he started with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt in my mind.
I kind of agree.
All the way up until that point, all the top dunkers participated.
Always.
He decided he wasn't going to, and you see the fall off. And we get Dwight Howards and
all this
little
sensitivity,
man.
fucking people worried about getting embarrassed and shit. Bitch asses.
McClung will he'll put on a show though.
He will.
So,
but he's not a star in the league.
No.
So it just kills. It's like, why y'all giving this G League player so much light on this stage? And it's really because the other stars ain't stepping up to the plate. Stop being bitches.
Talk to him.
Y'all can go crazy with the dunks all regular season, but when it's just you and the crowd out there, you can't step up to that plate and do some dunks, bro. Anything you do is gonna be looked at as crazy because you a star already.
Yep. I'm retired. I'm retired from the dunk contest. I haven't watched it in years. I don't plan to watch it probably ever again. If I'm sitting here doing nothing and it happens to come across my TV, I might catch it, but I'm not going to watch the dunk contest anymore.
If Zion would change the trajectory of his career if he stepped up to the plate and did a dunk contest.
Like if I'm the Pelicans, I'm not letting that motherfucker out.
Trajectory of his
because
career.
He's not consistent in seasons to play. So it's like
I think
you having all the star power that you got right now for your dunking. Being the premier dunker in the league, to step up to that plate finally as one of the stars to be in a dunk contest, it's going to put you in a different light, to me.
I think it would be very cool to see him participate.
Yeah. As far
I don't
as
think it changes anything, to be honest.
As far as your superstardom goes, to them.
I think he could save the dunk contest. I don't think the dunk contest does anything for him.
I don't know.
To be honest.
I don't know.
I would watch if he
personal perception.
Not even personal perception. It's just because my thing is, it's like your availability has been your worst trait. Be available and save the dunk contest and be that guy. And then it'd be like, oh shit, I mean, hey.
You'll still call him shit.
If you're the Pelicans, would you even let him participate?
Probably not.
Hell no.
Probably not.
Hell
shit,
no.
He was fucking doing dunk dunks while he was hurt last season. He in warm-ups doing dunks and shit. They ain't tell him to sit his ass down then.
At least that's on
some
our
pointless
dollar.
warm-up dunks.
At least that's on our dollar. We ain't gonna be here doing an all-star game doing that shit.
But step up to the plate, man. Somebody got to do it. Mac McClung. I like the kid too, but
I don't. Fuck him.
You
He
can't
went to
even
Georgetown.
get on the actual team. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
he was from Gate City though, man.
I don't care. He went to
Stand up.
Georgetown. Cuse Georgetown rivalry till we die. Fuck Georgetown.
He left Georgetown though. He didn't stay there.
He did.
Where did he go?
I don't know. I forgot
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
It seems like
I remember that,
that's
yeah.
been his whole career. He just keeps moving to team because nobody wants him. It's just not been good enough.
It's probably true.
It's a size thing.
He's too white for Georgetown anyway.
I don't think size matters when you can jump out the gym. You should be able to play better.
He's only like 6'1", so it does matter at that point.
I want to see those guys dunk though.
Yeah.
It also ruins it for me when they're too big.
Makes for a better dunk.
Yeah, right.
It's
You get no hang time.
Over
no
6'7" is not. It's not that.
Right.
It's impressive still. Obviously, I could never do it, but watching a 6'10" do a windmill, it's like good.
Right.
You should be able to do that.
You
in
don't
the
taller
NBA.
than 6'6", right?
I think
Yeah,
I give it to
6'6" might-
6'7". I'll give you a lean there.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm with you.
I agree.
I want
So Aaron
Ja's the
Gordon-
one I want to see.
Aaron Gordon is probably as big as you can go.
He's like 6'10" though.
Dwight Howard
he
was in
is. Yeah, that's
7 foot.
Yeah, I didn't
But he
care
did
for
like
Dwight's
some
dunk.
acrobatic type shit.
You gotta do ridiculous shit when
He
you that
dunked
big.
on a
Jumping
12
over the
foot
car
rim.
and shit.
He dunked on the 12-foot rim, and it wasn't
Not
that cool.
Dwight Howard. I'm talking about Gordon.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, he's
Blake
nice.
was iconic.
Dwight Howard one time slapped a sticker of himself and dunked it.
on the top,
Yeah,
on the backboard. Or
which I
whatever.
mean is like, yeah, you getting up there crazy high, but it's
It's
like
cool.
it's just
I guess.
I'm a big man
Yeah,
kind of dunk. I'm just tall.
Ja is the one I want to see in it.
You of course everybody wants to see Ja.
Ja's the one I want
would
to
go
see in it.
nuts.
He puts up the craziest in-game dunks that you'll find. He also misses more in-game dunks than anybody I've ever watched play basketball. But I would like to see him participate.
Yeah,
I think Anthony Edwards is a good choice. I would like to see him participate.
definitely.
Trying to think of who else.
Shit, I like to see Markkinen in it.
I don't know.
His
about
bunnies
that.
is stupid.
Really?
Markkinen got stupid
I've seen
bunnies,
him
bro.
post her a couple of times, but it's not like the cool dunks.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing crazy, but he be dunking on motherfuckers all the time.
Bring Zach LaVine back. I'm down for that.
I like to see that.
I like the guards. I like seeing
see
guards
that.
dunk.
Yeah,
It's way
I
more
see
fun.
that. Bring DeRozan back. DeRozan got stupid bunnies.
DeRozan. It's not bad.
Wait, so are we gonna get out of here before we talk about this Tyree Nichols shit?
Who is that?
You ain't
Oh,
seen
the dude that got beat
Nichols
up?
shit? The dude who got
Yeah.
fucking demolished pretty much on body camera.
Yeah,
I've heard about it. No, I haven't watched it. I haven't
unalive.
paid much attention to it. I did hear about this. I didn't realize it was his name.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the 5 Memphis officers are now charged with like 2nd-degree murder or something like that. They pretty much
See that?
As they should.
like handcuffed and beat the fuck out of this dude to his death.
Yep.
That shit's
to his
just
death.
crazy, man. We talk about all the time, like defund the police and like disarm them and stuff like that. They didn't use a gun. They just used their authority
Straight beats.
to beat the fuck out of this dude. Like apparently, guy has no record or anything like that. And like I don't know if have you seen the video at all, you guys?
No, I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, I won't try to see it, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen the whole thing.
I seen like the
descriptions
initial
of it.
chase video when they first pulled him over and he like ran off on them. I didn't see when they actually caught up to him.
It's weird. Apparently, it might be like some background story of him messing with one of the
I
police
read about
officers'
this today.
baby moms or something like that. They
this-
both worked at FedEx.
If this is true,
That sounds like the most logical thing to me.
that dude is in deep shit. That's murder one easy.
Oh yeah, right.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Explain that because I did read about this. What's the rumor?
Tyree Nichols apparently worked with one of the officers' baby mothers, and apparently they had some kind of relationship, and so it was. They're saying it's like a targeted type of hit.
That's wild.
What I saw is that he texted the girl after he did it.
Oh, so she texted her
He
a picture.
took pictures of Nichols after and sent it to this woman that worked
Oh
at
yeah,
FedEx.
you're going down for murder, big
If
dog.
that's the case, so I didn't want to bring that up because I had seen it on social media, and when I tried to search for it on Google, there's no reputable sources reporting it
Right, I
yet.
haven't seen it either.
So it's possible they're just being slow until that it's confirmed. But if that's the case,
That's wild.
then that's a clear
Yeah, you going
murder
down.
one. Hopefully they give them the death penalty or whatever is available in Tennessee. I haven't seen much about this, but I did hear about the story.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tragic. I mean, they're really
Fired
like
6 cops, I believe.
huh?
So I think there were 6 of them that have been
like 5 or 6
fired and charged, or
Definitely
one of the other.
5. Apparently, it's supposed to be another one that's in the mix as well too. So I'm not sure, but they're like really like bragging on video and shit. Like, oh, I was hitting that motherfucker with haymakers and shit.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's a crazy thing to witness. But we'll see what happens with all of this. But that just makes you realize like this, like police shit is bigger than black and white. Like it's really like a gang mentality almost. Like the motherfuckers operated as a gang at that moment. Like
It sounds like it.
you know, you're not protecting the peace or anything like that or serving the public. That's gang activity. You jump somebody.
legit abuse of power.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with power, you can see it at almost any profession. Anybody's worked in a corporate setting, there's generally, I don't want to say there's generally, because I've worked at a lot of companies I didn't hear anything about, but you hear somewhat frequently of people in the highest position of power just doing some sort of abusive power. It may not be like a physical abuse like this. You look at pastors of churches, priests
Right, all the
that are
time.
in high positions of power, obviously police. I had thought about another example. I can't even think of what it is. But I don't know if you've ever watched that documentary, Stanford Prison Experience. Is like a psychological experiment that they tried. Just some people are considered inmates, some people are considered guards, and the people that were named guards just kind of naturally immediately abused their power and took over and tried to use force and get their will and stuff. Power is I don't know, it's a crazy thing. I don't think most people can handle it very well.
Yeah, it's a drug for sure.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's addictive, I would say, for a lot of people.
Right. Nobody wants to be the low man, but I don't know. It's different though when it's like your decisions could like alter somebody's life so much, like in the position of a police officer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can literally take somebody's life out here, or like, you know, it's police officers that are out there that plant shit on people and stuff like that just to meet a certain quota or to get, you know, somewhere else in their field, because they have to get a certain amount of charges in this area in order to qualify for this new position or something like that. So it's people out there who are pretty much rigging the system, but it's just like, man, how much of a fucked up person do you have to be to you know, to fuck up somebody's life just for self-improvement and betterment and stuff like that? And like, or, you know, just for the love of, I don't know, good police work, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna kill this motherfucker about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's just crazy to me. So, it's, I don't know, it's something like deeper psychologically, I guess, with this whole shit than anything else, you know. When you put a badge on and shit, like, what does the motherfucker actually feel like? Does he feel like everybody else's life is really not that much more important? You know, like, I don't know, it's weird.
Your life or mine's. It's usually the mindset.
Yeah, but it's a lot of times it's like,
They don't
these
be there in
people are
life.
unarmed. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not that situation.
I think there's a lot of
I watch a lot of this stuff though, like of, you know, police attacking like unarmed people and stuff like. And I'm like, yo, what's going on through your head right now? Is it just like, I'm a police officer, I can fuck you up if I want to?
Yeah, I mean, we're really short on time, so I won't go too deep on this. But I mean, I think a lot of the issue is being untouchable and not having really serious recourse on certain things, and having other people in positions of power that are also going to cover and stuff like that. I listened to a recent debate talking about police stuff, and there's a former cop that I was listening to was just talking about his idea of ways to fix the issue, where it's super stringent penalties for cops.
Yeah, right.
Broke the rules, misbehaved, covered up other people misbehaving, if you will. Hard to even say misbehaving in a situation like this. It's so brutal and unacceptable. But there's got to be some actual recourse to not doing your job properly. Needs to be more than just a regular job of not doing your job properly. For much power, much responsibility, old Spider-Man type shit.
Yeah.
It's really true.
I mean, it goes to show, like, just the recent headlines that's been on police forces just let you know, like, yo, this is a joke. Like, motherfuckers really, I don't know. You seen the one with the girl it's been like all over the memes and stuff like that. The woman police officer who was getting like gang banged by everybody in the precinct or something like that. Like, yo, these are the people who's supposed to be protecting folks out here. You know, they having orgies and sex parties and shit and jumping people and killing motherfuckers on their free time. Or no, sorry, while they on the clock.
Yep.
It's just, it makes you think like, yo, is this a fucking joke? But I guess it's just people, you know, in these positions. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
a job.
At the same time, it's regular people. Although they're in an elevated position,
It's just in the job.
It's still as regular people.
They probably hate that shit too, just like you hate the fucking job you get up and go
But at the same time,
but they should be.
If you have the level of power that they have, you have a greater level of responsibility. And just being a normal person making regular mistakes is not acceptable when you have the power that they have. So,
right.
Really, really shitty situation from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't have a sample because I still got technological issues here with my connector.
I do.
We'll be ready for next week. Do you have one?
I do not. I don't.
All right, well, perfect. We've got enough time for one sample. So if you're on YouTube, we appreciate you watching. We will be back next week with a little Super Bowl preview since we've got a week in between football.
Take all the time.
If you're on the audio, we got one sample coming because Moss is that dude. We appreciate you. Peace.